It's so stupid. It doesn't show up or anything. It's just something we see. So is the intro going? Is the intro? Jeff Hardy's.
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. As I've been besmirched by Lord Manny Hayes and the grand finale in the opening, and then also apparently the attack is continuing because I've already have one thumbs down, and Montez Red Cup has says, "Wonder if Eric is going to pay attention to the chat this week." God damn it, I'm tired of being attacked, people. I'm tired of being attacked.
How'd you get a thumbs down already?
I don't know. What
could you have done?
I believe it's Montez. Montez is as big as hater as you, Eric.
Well, I embrace the hate. How are you guys doing today?
Well, the real question is, Eric, how are you doing? Have you grown any limbs from your vaccine process?
Not yet, man, but my body hurts, man. My body hurts. Maybe I picked the wrong one. I had too many choices.
Eric, what bad superpower do you want?
I don't know. To be invisible. I would always want to be invisible.
That's not bad.
It's not that bad.
Trust me. You can use invisibility in bad ways.
Nah, invisibility is just the pervert power.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that continue the narrative?
No, but it doesn't mean it's a bad superpower. A bad superpower is something like, you always show up on time for something or some shit like that. Like, I don't even want to show up on time for this, but I had to. Otherwise, I'd die or something shitty.
What was your one was nailed? Your nails would grow.
My nails would just they grow at a really slow pace, but they're not even that sharp either.
Mine would be I would float.
But what about what about your bad superpower? Your nails grow, but they can't be cut, so they just keep growing. It no matter what you try to do, you can't cut them.
Oh no, that's a bad idea because the veins start growing in that.
Chris is back, and he says, "What's up, nation?" Chris is back.
Chris,
how's your family doing, Chris?
Hope everything's going well. I hope Manny wasn't expecting a quick answer right there.
Oh,
well, as Manny and Marcus have alluded to, I have been vaccinated, and my body hurts. As Marcus is really close to the camera. Mark, why are you so close to the camera?
I don't know. I was just sitting at the camera. I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to get through the show because I'm going to be a trooper. Marcus made it through the show when we thought he had COVID, so I can make it through some body aches and chills. So I'm a trooper. So speaking of making...
You're not me, man. Huh? You're not me.
I'm not, Marcus. I'm soft like Charmin, baby. I'm soft like Charmin. And I'm not even talking about the ultra strong. I'm talking about that soft and cuddly Charmin. That's what I am.
So basically what you're saying is you're a pussy.
Yes. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to sit here and act like that I'm a man, but I cut a motherfucker, but still, it's going to be some shenanigans. I'm going to cheat. I
cut you.
He says he is doing well. His dad had blood clot in his chest, but he's better now. I'm glad to hear that, Chris. So let's move on to the, what would I say that the thing that ruffled the IWC panties this week, and that would be Andrade, Charlotte's boo, apparently asked for his release from WWE, which was denied, which began to have people do some investigation of when the last time Andrade and Aleister Black appeared on television, which was March of last year after the draft. Marcus, I'm going to turn to you.
Andrade was on November, I think.
Yeah, it was way before Andrade. They both were at WrestleMania.
These reports
and after.
Marcus, you can't believe internet reports whatsoever, but for the narrative that I'm going with.
What your notes?
Huh?
What was your notes that are off?
Hey.
It can't be March.
Marcus, he doesn't take real notes.
Marcus, and also let's just realize that no more than 30 people will be misinformed to begin with, so it'll be all right. So, So Marcus, how do you feel about Andrade asking for his release, being denied his release, and then the overall of Aleister Black and Andrade being put on the back burner with nothing to do?
Yeah, what? So I go back to the old thing of when you sign with WWE, what do you think is going to happen? Andrade, Hispanic American, English very limited. No one has ever been successful like that in WWE. What made you think it was going to be different?
Well, the only one you could really say that is Asuka.
Yes, and even her, there's claims of mistreatment as if she's an elderly woman. But it is what it is. Whatever the story is, I don't honestly care either way. Whatever happens, it's their prerogative not to release them, and it's his prerogative not to show up. They have nothing for him to do. And without Selena Vega, Andrade doesn't really have much. Remember, he was nothing without Selena, and Selena's gone. She done fucked 3 careers up.
So what you're saying, Mark, is
Maybe
that once he signed the contract, he need to ride that wave and just get it over with. Manny, do you agree with your co-host of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show about this position?
I honestly felt like he should have been learning how to speak English. Bear in mind, English for foreigners is a very difficult language to learn because a lot of words sound the same but mean different things. So yeah. I get it. But he should have known. He should have known what he was getting himself into.
Yeah. So everybody should know, but everybody takes the money right away. And they don't think it's going to work different for me. But no, they treated him just like everybody else. And one day, wrestlers will learn that, you're probably not going to get pushed in WWE if you're X, Y, and Z. Whether you're Ricochet, Andrade. I thought Aleister Black had a chance, but,
once his wife was let go, I think all his chances was thrown out the window. But I guess I'm going to dive deeper into this because I have a question for you. Because in order for Andrade and Black to be on television, that kind of means that you have to take somebody off of television. So, Manny, I turn to you. If you could give spots to Andrade and Black, who would you remove off of television, or would you keep them off?
I'd remove both Mysterios and put them on TV. They are both more talented than both of the Mysterios right now. Like Dominic, I would legit throw into NXT because he's got a lot more learning to do. He shouldn't be doing it on the main stage of SmackDown. Rey Mysterio, he's done. Look at the man. Like, his knees may be good, but he should only be doing independent shows now.
But so, Manny, now with that being said, then that would put on SmackDown this week, that would have Aleister Black and Andrade teaming up with the Profits going against Chad Gable and the Tag Team Champions. Is that
full of substitutions?
Is that where people would really want to see Andrade and Black at, though, Manny?
No, it'd be in that very limited now because it's strictly a battle between the Bible and Nigeria.
We will get to that.
Of the Intercontinental title chip, but that's where these two belong. But okay. It's hard in a place in WWE where they've been stacking talent for years to actually break through to get into that main event stage now because everyone is just clumped in that mid card.
Now, Marcus, I turn to you. Who would you replace, and who would you like to see them substituted, or would you just leave them on the sidelines and wait for their push like Cesaro got?
Now, is this for all shows?
Yeah, you can put them anywhere.
Every show, no matter what, whether it's 205, NXT UK.
Marcus, yes, you're gonna take somebody off of television and plug in Black and Andrade in those spots.
All right, I'll take off Everrise.
No.
And put them both in their spots.
So if I'm to understand correctly,
that's a worse spot than being Mysterio.
But if I could
every now and then.
But if I could understand both,
maybe Breezango.
But if I understand you guys both correctly, the way that you were insert Andrade and Black back into the fold, you would put them in as a tag team.
No.
But the way you've put it.
Yeah.
The way you've stressed the question and made direct substitution for this week's SmackDown almost implies that they have to be tag teams, but no, they wouldn't.
My original substitution was going to be Tamina and Natty, but I can't substitute them because then they would be fighting Sasha and Bianca in some random ass match.
Well, Chris says that they should take out Corbin. I disagree with that because I do like Baron Corbin. My thing is, I would love to see Andrade be sent back down to NXT, and I don't know if that's a possibility. And I would have loved to see Andrade go against Escobar instead of what's his name? The guy who locked the one who's gonna fight Finn this week, whose name I'm gonna have to eventually remember.
Jordan Devlin.
No, not Jordan Devlin. The other guy who he was waiting for.
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross. Like, I felt that Escobar and Andrade could have been there. I think they both would do better in NXT, personally. I mean, I think Aleister Black would give Gargano a good opponent for his title instead of maybe Dexter Lumis. I mean, they have so much talent on their roster. It's really hard to determine where you're going to put these people at. I mean,
what about take off Bad Bunny
and replace Damian Priest with Aleister Black?
I don't want to replace Priest.
You can't replace Bad Bunny. He's a bigger ratings draw than both of them combined.
I know. He's not merchandise. I'm just saying.
Do you know how many conversations at work, Marcus, I've had about Bad Bunny in wrestling? Like, people know I've watched wrestling for I don't know how long, but people keep walking up to me and asking me questions. And then, of course, I go to full analysts and I break it down for them. They be like, man, you really know your wrestling. I'm like, well, yeah. I guess I do.
Yeah, but knowing you're saying things completely wrong and misinterpreting things and making up words and going like, that didn't happen at all.
Why didn't you get them to watch your show so you bump your ratings from 30 to 35?
Well, because I don't want them to realize how much of an asshole I am and actually might get fired from my job. So, the hate is real.
What you do as an asshole? You don't do anything as an asshole. You only criticize the dubs.
Yeah, all you do, the only way you can't get fired from your job, provided you just don't talk about your job.
And Marcus, I will apologize to you because I have found my head of the table shirt, so you did not steal the shirt from my home. I apologize for accusing you of such an act.
The only black man to go in your home in over 20 years, and yet you accuse him of stealing.
Well, someone else who's accusing somebody of stealing, that is Edge. Edge started off SmackDown, and he was in a pissy mood because he's upset with Daniel Bryan. My biggest problem with Edge is I don't understand why Edge just won't say what he needs to say. It's not about Daniel Bryan fighting Roman Reigns at Fastlane. It's the fact that Edge wants to fight Roman Reigns, and he doesn't like the possibility that Daniel Bryan could maybe beat him because Edge knows there's no money against him and Daniel Bryan. Marcus, do you agree with that assessment that Edge is just bitter because he won the Royal Rumble, he's supposed to face Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan is messing up his plan?
Well, in his full kayfabe, his argument makes no sense.
It doesn't.
It makes no sense. I don't understand was he upset about Daniel Bryan shooting his shot at the title. This is like being upset with the Miami Heat going to the NBA finals, knocking off whether it was the Celtics or who and the Sixers, whoever else were the contenders in the East. It don't concern me. You're going for the title.
I mean,
you don't care who you're fighting.
That also puts Edge in a very illustrious group of the Hippo and the Crate.
Yes.
Because he made a career of being the ultimate opportunist.
Yeah.
So that's what Daniel Bryan did.
But the thing that I don't understand, no matter what happens between Roman and Daniel Bryan, Edge still won the Royal Rumble. He still will be main eventing WrestleMania. Nothing changes. Then we go.
Maybe it does change, Eric. Maybe they say, Edge and Daniel Bryan. Maybe we go Drew McIntyre and whoever his Bobby Lashley chooses to fight.
So if he says that this might affect my pay at the pay window, I can understand. But at the end of the day, you're still in WrestleMania. But then we go to the end where Daniel Bryan is able to goad Roman Reigns into signing the contract after Roman was pulling his same stunt he did with Kevin Owens. But apparently, Daniel Bryan knows the part to cut Roman deep, Manny. At this point, did you think that Roman's reaction to sign the contract was appropriate? And then the whole stipulation of Jey Uso and Edge fight next week to be the enforcer also makes no sense to me.
I didn't care about the enforcer thing. Just really stupid. Like, why would you need an enforcer? You're just trying to add like people to watch this because Edge is going to be there. No one cares. But then, it just doesn't make sense the way Roman got really angry about that. I would have been just like, fuck that, I don't want to work. I won't sign that.
Yeah.
Hold on. No. You guys are misinterpreting the story here. All right, you guys are as petty and you guys are as jealous and as hateful and as crazy as I am. Because I understood 100% what Roman did right here. One, let me touch on this enforcer stuff. You don't need an enforcer unless it's going to be Mike Tyson. And he going to bring asses to the seat. Edge or Jey Uso don't bring asses to the seats. Second, he told the man that I tapped out Jey Uso. I made Jey Uso say I quit, which you could not do because you a bitch.
That is also true.
That's basically what he said. And then he started running down his heritage. He said, maybe I should call Sika and Alpha and tell him I'm the tribal chief because I tapped out Jey Uso. At that point, he done challenged your heritage. He done challenged your balls. He done challenged everything you've ever done in your life. At that point, I'm going to whoop his ass, and I'm looking to the left, and I don't know who's over there, and I'm going to have to whoop his ass.
So what you're saying is that...
That's what he's saying.
What you're saying, Daniel Bryan actually prepared and went to talk to some of the best shit talkers in the game and learned how to play the dozens. And at that point, he pissed Roman off so much that Roman probably wanted to put hands on Brie and Daniel Bryan's kids and probably take out Nikki at the same time.
He was going to take out everybody. He had to. The man just declared, Daniel Bryan declared himself the real tribal chief and head of the table. Okay? He said he's going to call Rikishi. You didn't pay attention to him just yelling while Roman was standing. He was saying about him going to that island.
No, so when he started getting riled up, I just paid attention to Roman's face because Roman got more angrier and angrier the more he made noise.
No, wasn't that Edge who said that, what does your father think of you doing this, Jey Uso? His elaborate tour of backstage again. Because Edge went backstage and he was like, you were one of the reasons when I saw your match, it made me want to come back. And I'm like, really? The Usos made you want to come back, but you let Christian Cage walk away? You didn't want to come back as a tag team wrestler. You want to come back to main event WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. And at the same time, it's Roman's fault. It's Edge's fault because he put the decision out there too long. He was the one teasing, I may fight Drew McIntyre. I may not fight Drew McIntyre. Then he found out Bobby Lashley was a champion. He's like, I'm not messing with that black man. Roman, I'm on my way to you. That's what it came down to.
He did sample with Finn. But Eric, I want to go shout out to you for using the term Christian Cage before it was cool to say Christian Cage again.
But so SmackDown was all over the place. But the one thing that I can say that I enjoyed for no reason whatsoever, and I might be alone in this situation, but I do enjoy Reginald getting him a sugar mama and Nia Jax. She is spending all her money and Shayna's disgust inside of Men's Warehouse, which doesn't exist anymore, made me laugh so much more. Marcus, would you have taken the role of Reginald and got some new suits?
Absolutely. Those little custom-made suits look like suits he already had. I don't see anything different than what he's wearing now than what he was already wearing.
The gold one was sick.
Betty, you're right. When I saw the gold one, I was like, why didn't he wear the gold one out on TV? Because with the gold one with the spiked shoes, I was like, yes. And for me, when he said on Nia's lap, I was like, damn.
Eric, can I ask you a question?
What?
And Manny, you can answer as well. I don't know if you've ever put on clothes like Reginald has and then decide to say, show me the clothes, and you start doing a twirl and a flip in the air. I don't understand who dresses like that for any occasion.
Marcus,
I tell you who. A 4-year-old child.
No, Mark. I'll tell you who. A man who's being kept. Nia Jax said she was going to pay for everything because no man, Mark, for first and foremost, if I'm trying on clothes, I'm not going to do any type of flips and stuff because if I rip those pants, I got to pay for it. He knew Nia Jax's tag team money was going to pay for everything. I just don't understand why Shayna had to be brought along because Shayna did not want to be there.
Eric, I got to ask this question though.
That they were going to Chili's.
If Nia's paying for everything, you're not getting that hairline fixed.
She might like that. She might like that. That old baldness and stuff like that.
Maybe she ain't noticed yet.
I mean, Chris
she's
said,
taller than him. Of course she must.
She sees it, Marcus. She sees it. Chris says Eric shops at Steve Harvey's old stores, don't you? I was like, no, I have never owned a Steve Harvey suit. They're too flashy for me. But Shayna's disgust and all the memes I saw of Shayna disgust is what really entertained me. But then the convolution of a match, Marcus, that is leading to that road of Tamina becoming a champion. Under no circumstances should Tamina and Natty win the match. But thanks to Reginald and his flashy lining of his jacket, he won the match. They won the match. And Bianca had to put Sasha in her place. Told her, I don't lose. You need to fix this. Marcus, this was pretty much two women in front of your apartment building arguing over stuff.
No, I can't answer that. Sorry, Manny has his hand raised.
Manny, go ahead then.
WrestleMania's in jeopardy, guys. First of all, Tamina has right to the claim of the main event of WrestleMania now. She's got a win over the Royal Rumble winner. 2, Nia Jax may break the SmackDown Women's Champion next week.
Yes. The end of the Black Girl Magic pay-per-view of WrestleMania is in jeopardy. Because I can see Sasha getting hurt next week. I can see it. But I don't know why Tamina and Natty, a.k.a. as I'm calling the nursery home, the nursery, is getting victories.
Marcus, they went shopping too, man. They had new wrestling attire. Tamina that got braids, Marcus. She really, I mean...
Tamina had braids last week.
But it looked like she put some color in them braids. I'm just saying, Tamina tried to step things up.
Tamina's the reason Shinsuke Nakamura had to change his ring gear back to what he was wearing, because she's literally wearing his outfit.
But we'll get to Nakamura, who looked like he was a Japanese detective. I don't know what was going on. Like he solved the mystery. I don't know what that was. But Marcus, let me ask this question. What tag team you think at the lower level of the women's division has more traction going for them? Naomi and Lana, or Natty and Tamina?
I'm going to say Natty and Tamina are undefeated, Eric. They have not lost. They have beat the Riot Squad at least 18 times. And then they come in, they beat Bianca Belair. I don't recall the last time Lana and Naomi actually won.
Me neither. Well, Marcus, because they keep fighting the champions, though. They keep fighting Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. That's where the problem comes in. They need to go to NXT and maybe fight the new crown tag team champions that we'll talk about later on. So I would say probably the last thing I want to talk about is the Cesaro Seth Rollins situation. Marcus, I'm going to ask you first, since we had a lot of clothing going on. What did you feel about Seth Rollins' plaid checkered suit that was green with the turtleneck?
Eric, that was pimp. Okay, that was some old 1970 Professor Pimp shit that he was. I was expecting him to pull out what's the smoker? A pipe. He's gonna pull out a pipe and start smoking a pipe and then lecturing me on social economics or something. He looked amazing, Eric, and I'm jealous of his outfit. Absolutely jealous.
Manny, were you jealous of his outfit, or were you more impressed that in that outfit he was able to pretty much curb stomp Cesaro twice?
Yeah, that. But then I also thought this man could be in the next Apple keynote, selling me some iPads.
Betty, and one more thing. I mean, like
one more thing. I got this $3,000 iPhone that you ain't never seen coming.
Let me tell you, the Seth Rollins versus Cesaro is the match that I'm looking the most forward to at WrestleMania because it has the makings of being a Matt classic, and I hope that Cesaro goes over because I think Cesaro could get this win and his momentum could skyrocket.
But Eric, you brushed on Detective Shinsuke, as you wanted to call
Marcus,
him.
I'm going to go back.
I like to call him Japanese Seth.
So Marcus, do you think
I'm just gonna go Detective Pikachu?
Marcus, do you think Shinsuke was providing Seth with notes and secrets for Cesaro of a Rolodex that he kept from a long time ago?
I hope that that's his new follower or disciple. Shinsuke as a disciple works better than Shinsuke by himself. Well, Shinsuke's doing nothing. I like to give that. So it'd be Buddy Murphy, Shinsuke, and Seth for no apparent reason whatsoever.
So Mark, wait a minute. You're gonna put Murphy back with Seth? I don't think Murphy.
He's already gone back with him.
They're back.
Oh,
he turned heel on Instagram, which I learned from Marcus.
I saw that, and I appreciate him saying that Aaliyah used him, but at the same time, who wouldn't want to be used by Aaliyah for a couple of days? I mean, come on, man.
By the way, she's 19 years old, Eric. By the way,
she's legal.
Man, I just feel like saying that. But by the way, the Instagram post is no longer canon. WWE.com has made him remove his Instagram posts. Buddy Murphy can't write his own storylines.
So, Marcus, my question for you, though, Marcus, is that you have two people who try to further their career. You had Buddy Murphy, who went with Aaliyah. Now you have Reginald going with Nia Jax. Who is making the better decision of trying to become more popular?
Reggie.
I was wondering who was I compared to? Was it Reggie and who?
Reggie and Buddy Murphy, who went with Aaliyah.
Oh, it's definitely Reggie. Buddy Murphy has no future now.
So, speaking of future, let's talk about what we all waited for.
Is he attacking Randy Orton?
Not yet. No, we're talking about the return of Big E. Big E returned, Manny, and he decided he wanted to do the old Willy Wonka thing where he had a boot on top of his boot, which showed that his foot wasn't okay, but he didn't do the roll down the ramp. And he got
when you got all that shit on you.
Then he got back into the ring, and it feels like Big E is invoking his pastor gimmick that he had down in NXT. How did you feel about this?
It's not gimmick, it's life. His father's a pastor.
I understand what his father is. Do you like this direction?
Well, it gave him an edge. Like, you got serious Big E, like a lot of what people have been saying. I want Big E to be serious, and I need Big E to be a mean, angry black man. This is what you got. This is what everyone got. It's not good, people. It is not good. I need jovial Big E.
Manny, let me tell you something right now, and I'll tell you this, brother. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I remember it was a couple of months ago. I said I need Big E to get serious. I was on that same train that Booker T was, but after seeing serious Big E, I was cheering Apollo Crews to win this match. I joined Shantae in the Apollo Crews trade, although I shouldn't because that's another one of Shantae men that she liked to watch wrestle, which makes me go crazy. You know what? Big E, tear him apart. Marcus, what about you? How did you feel about the whole Big E?
I like serious Big E. I like that he was serious this week. And he was joking when he came out with I don't think he should have did the casting. That made no sense. And then he went into the ring and he was serious. I like that he was serious and stammering over his words and wanted to kill Apollo.
No, it was the heavy breathing while he was cutting that promo that put me on.
But did you guys like the fact that when Marcus, do you like the fact that when Big E called out Apollo wasn't coming out on his dime?
That's a lesson for the head of the table.
But
I work on my time.
Nothing looked cooler than that long shot of Apollo standing on the stairs.
Well, for me, I love. See, this is why I like Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was gonna take that opportunity. He wasn't dressed. He was gonna mess up his suit just to get that title shot. But Sammy came down with the crew, who may be fighting Kevin Owens eventually again. And it's like, okay,
I accept it. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You never said the words.
You never said I accept. This is how it works.
At that point, Baron Corbin and his verbose vocabulary really messed things up because he should have just walked out and said, I accept.
I'm sorry, what was that word?
Verbose. I got it right this time. The first time, that was a flub. But overall,
I don't even feel like you got it right the second time. I think it's robust.
No, it's verbose. Now I'm messing up, man. At the end of the day,
robust.
At the end of the day, SmackDown was just an okay show. I don't know if anything happened that I really cared about. And then I got no Ding Dong Bailey. I'm upset by that. Where's Bailey
Billy
at?
Kay or Bailey?
No Billy Kay for 4 weeks now.
Does she have the COVID?
Maybe.
No.
Is she vaccinated?
I don't think they're just using her.
So, going to Monday Night Raw, I'm going to start off with the main event.
I thought SmackDown was good, by the way.
No.
I enjoy SmackDown.
We need to point out that Sasha keeps trying to remind us that she's also black by putting on this actual hood accent whenever she's near Bianca Belair. Whenever she's near Bianca Belair, she acts a certain way, and it needs to stop because it sounds horrible.
No, it's somebody trying to play dress up. So Chris said someday Eric is going to like a good wrestler, and I'm going to have a Fred Sanford moment. I mean, the thing is, it's okay for us to like different wrestlers. It's all right. We don't have to like the same people. I'm okay with that. I understand that I ride on the train alone with my support for certain wrestlers, like Baron Corbin, Cesaro. I was supporting Bobby Lashley.
You're not 100% alone. Wait, you're not riding Cesaro alone.
Marcus,
there's nobody that says they dislike Cesaro.
Marcus, I've been riding with Cesaro since he was Claudio. And you know.
Yeah, but that don't matter. That's not like like anybody say anything bad about him when he was Claudio either.
I also rode with Roderick
You're
Strong.
not alone. You're not. No one hates Roderick Strong other than that he can't make me any money anywhere.
But Marcus, you could take Braun Strowman.
Wrestlers.
That's who you was rolling with, Braun Strowman. Yeah, I brought that up.
There's nothing wrong with Braun Strowman.
It's plenty wrong with Braun Strowman. He's stupid.
I'll take.
He's stupid.
Stupid.
He's stupid.
He's stupid. He's stupid. Oh. Dang! I forgot what wrestler I was gonna talk about. That you like. Oh yeah, I want a Baron Corbin trade too. By the way. And by the way, also, I want everybody to stand back. Mansoor is 42-0. He got another one.
He's teaming with Ricochet now on main event.
He's killing it. He can't be. He can't. He single-handedly beat the Bollywood Boys on 205 Live last night by himself.
He's giving Ricochet the rub. Ricochet isn't giving him the rub.
So, and I'm talking about other two guys that are on the rise. It's Ever Rise. They don't do the interest no more, and I support them. They were on commentary this week, and they were hilarious.
But they still, Ever Rise still rule, don't they?
They still do. They're ridiculous.
We're moving to Monday Night Raw, and I want to jump right into the main event because this was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, and they gave us a really entertaining.
We're not doing that.
I'm jumping where I want to jump, man. I'm the host here. They gave me a really good match, and the thing about it, afterwards, when all the stories broke out about Andrade and Aleister Black not being used, I had a question that popped into my head. What is AJ Styles doing this WrestleMania? He has nothing going on for him this WrestleMania. Marcus, where are we going to plug AJ Styles at?
AJ versus Omos. What are you talking about?
No.
I'm just joking.
AJ and the debuting Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles.
Is that what you're going for?
That sounds like a fact. I would do
that. It's not like I want to see it. It's what is going to happen.
So,
hold up. I think there was rumors going around in this fake ass, bullshit ass, as someone would say, WrestleMania card that someone just wrote on a piece of paper and said, this is the card that Vince is thinking about. AJ Styles versus Triple H was on that card. And I don't see why or how that would even happen or any circumstance.
Can I say, Marcus, you're right. That was my favorite story that came across on the news feed this week. WrestleMania's card has been finalized. And I'm like, why is that a news story? I mean, it was going to get finalized eventually. I mean, like, you guys are just trying to get clicks. And it's not like...
It was the story that the WWE is in chaos and they don't have a final card for WrestleMania.
But don't we...
This is an every year thing.
This is an every year thing.
Copy and paste, change the number of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it happens every year. But AEW's in chaos and no one says anything about them except for us. Manny, can I say I'm proud of you for being the man that I could not be and giving that match a 0-star. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please go and check out the run-in review show that Marcus released and did a wonderful job editing. Because
just know I did a cameo in that. I'm not even in that video.
You sum up the whole argument. There's a million arguments on this thing, and I feel like you get a good scope of what that match was like watching from every different angle. And Manny summed it up at the end with 0 stars.
So the thing about that edit. So we obviously were talking about this edit like after the show on Thursday. Marcus had said he was gonna have me walk back when I came back into the camera and have that at the beginning of the shot.
Yeah.
Before I
it didn't work. I couldn't get that to work. It didn't make sense because you didn't say anything, and then we were both already laughing. And you were walking and sitting down, and I was like, "This doesn't even make sense." So I'm just gonna put it at the end. But I did use the Curb Your Enthusiasm clip.
I heard that. When I was waiting in line to get my vaccination, I watched the video, and I will say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good job, Marcus. You are talented, and I really appreciate the talent that you bring to our network. With that being said, I'm gonna jump to the.
Sound like you're firing me.
No, I'm gonna jump to the chat room.
He's just jealous of the innovation on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show that we bring.
No, I don't care.
He really don't.
I don't. as Marcus has once told me, I just don't give a fuck, and that's who I am. But Marcus, the chat room is going crazy with saying that Vince has been senile. Marcus, do you agree with Vince being senile?
No. Show me evidence of him being senile. What's senile about him? It's the same shit we've been getting for the past 80 years.
If he was senile, he wouldn't be making money.
And then, Manny.
If he was senile, he would have re-signed Christian to a lot of money.
So, Manny, I also turned to a comment that El Luchador said that I will put on the screen. He says, it's not that AEW hit home runs constantly, but it hasn't burned as many bridges with me as WWE has. I'm curious what bridges have been burned for you, El Luchador, and what doubles have AEW hit for you? Because I'm curious. I'm trying to understand the appeal. I'm trying to. But, Manny, what about you?
Well, I don't get the appeal of just the spoiledness of this wrestling fan base of why have they got to please you all the time? Sometimes they got to leave a foul taste in your mouth for you to come back and be like, I'm hoping something good happens. It's like that girlfriend that gets beaten up by that boyfriend all the time, that she just keeps staying there for all the time. That's a bad analogy, but there you go.
I'm just going to act like I didn't hear that and move back to the match. Marcus, I'm going to
ask
you.
Hold on. Oh. I'm going to chime in on the whole burning bridges, but, the WWE has been around for almost 100 years. Of course they burn more bridges with everybody. They got to have to burn somebody's bridge. It don't matter. And if I'm a 79, 78-year-old man, Vince McMahon, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm putting the show I want to put out. If I could be dead tomorrow, I don't want to die with the regrets of, fuck, man, they made me push Andrade. Fuck these people.
But you got to also realize, you got to stop taking it as personally as people do. Like, we do this show. The moment I get it out, I'm done with it. That's it. I don't talk about it for the rest of the week.
Honestly, it doesn't ruin my day. I don't care. Whenever people complain about a wrestler's push or something happening, or it's like, oh man, like you watched the show 24, and I wish that Arab guy number 7 got his this week. I wish he got Jack Bauer. Like, what? That's kind of what's going on in wrestling. Like, just watch the show. I don't care. Don't watch it if you don't watch it.
So now let me ask you this question, Marcus.
I'm burning bridges. Do you feel
that I guess the play between Randy Orton and The Fiend is going too slow, or do you think it's being paced correctly?
It's about right. I mean, The Fiend was burned alive. I'm not expecting you to come back on Monday the night after. So we'll see where it goes. If it flops, it's gonna because maybe building this up to a flopper where it's gonna go. I'm sick of seeing Randy Orton cough up black shit. Alexa blowing up the ring.
Are you not worried about his well-being?
I want him to go see a doctor, or some type of. So I am more curious about what's going to happen. I hear an echo of myself, but whatever. Yeah. So just let it happen. I'm curious what's going to happen. If it flops, I'll be like, damn, that sucked. That was a waste of time. But let's see where it goes.
I have a question, but Chris says, how dare people want a good show to watch? It's not that people want a good show to watch. It's that different people have different tastes. What's good to me might not be good to you. And the same for Marcus, the same for Manny. The problem with like all these wrestling companies, they're trying to please everybody, and it's impossible. You take what you like, enjoy it, and the stuff that you don't like, keep on moving.
Which is why you should watch the Run-In Review show, because it is a mix of people's likes and dislikes in wrestling. You got people ranking that abomination of a match 4 stars to 3 stars to 1 star to 0. This is why you should watch that show. Not all of you, everyone's opinions are going to be different, and it's a great place to be. Just let it all be different. This is why I opened the conversation up.
Like, the funniest thing, because I was looking in the chat room, and Chris said that I just skipped over SmackDown. The only thing I left out of SmackDown was that it was no reason for me to talk about that 6-man tag. I could care less. 8-man. I don't care. That didn't do anything for anybody in that match.
Let me talk about. Hold on. I got something to say about the 8-man tag. One, I thought it was a solid match.
It was.
2, there were some leg slapping motherfuckers in that one, wasn't there?
I need to point out one thing.
That's the stupidest story out.
Dominic shouldn't be letting his dad jump on him like that. That was when he gave his own dad a piggyback. There's something wrong with that.
That's why they got attacked.
That's why
they got attacked.
It is what it is at the same. I mean, like for me, Monday Night Raw didn't really have much that was like that stood out. Like Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre was amazing. They killed each other again. And this time they decided to switch to who did the bump on the table. And afterwards, you felt satisfied with that match. I mean, it's almost kind of sad that Drew McIntyre is going to be facing Bobby Lashley more than likely, because I think him and Sheamus could have a hell of a match at WrestleMania that could rival Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Do you agree with that assessment, Marcus?
Well, they're giving it away like twice already, and I'm assuming a third time's going to happen. I don't know what that finish was with the I'm running stairs in your face. I don't know who's ever done that in their life in that situation, but whatever. But they've constantly put on good matches, but I don't want to take the main event away from Bobby.
I know you don't.
He ain't main eventing, but I ain't taking it away from Bobby.
Now, the New Day, and I will say this, I think the New Day has ran its course, and I think it's time for the New Day just to go someplace.
Well, if you say they go someplace, that means Woods is getting fired.
Yeah, well, Betty, it might be best if Woods become a correspondent backstage. I don't know. But the only thing fire about them was their outfit today. I mean, it's one of those things. I think Big E really helped that dynamic, but just seeing Woods and Coffee, it's like, I don't need this. And then
I don't mind seeing Kofi. It's when I see Woods.
and then you have Woods beat Shelton Benjamin, and then you have Riddle, who apparently is friends with the New Day, and he beats Slapjack, and I guess we're just leading up to Riddle and the New Day teaming up to face Retribution, who never wins.
Oh, so he's trading the Mexicans in for the two black people.
I think he traded the Mexicans for the brothers because, we know Vince don't like the Mexicans. Look at Andrade.
They're going after the tag team titles against the Hurt Business for the 80th time, I feel like, this year. So I got Mustafa winning that United States title, though, guys.
Really?
Or Mustafa.
I would like to see that.
I got Mustafa winning.
But would you guys like to see him stop hinting at firing his cronies and just get rid of his cronies?
No.
He needs to get rid of the cronies. Get rid of Mace.
That's all. Just get rid of Mace.
Betty has been asking for Mace's job. Replace Mace with Andrade or Aleister Black.
Mace makes that team weaker by just existing.
I'm telling you now, if you replace Mace with Tamina, you would have a better team.
I think Slapjack got to go too. Just the mask.
So Bobby Lashley, WWE doesn't really have rematch clauses, but The Miz got one. Bobby Lashley made short work of The Miz. Is there anything that we need to speak on that about? Probably not, right?
Nope.
Bobby Lashley's new entrance.
Yes.
Blew up the stage.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So as you know, this happened on AEW.
It's not funny anymore.
That's just Stephanie.
So, as you know, that happened on AEW, but if you go back to the Randy Orton match, a mishap happened. When the fire went off in the corners, one of the fires in the corners did not explode. WWE realized that, and they zoomed in really quick just to show that, hey, they fucked up. And I still say that was a better explosion than what happened at Revolution.
What Alexa Bliss did at the end of Raw was a better explosion.
Yeah, that's the explosion I'm talking about. If you go back and look, one of her cane pies did not go off.
You said cane pies?
I did say cane pies, yes.
Cane pies?
69 me, Don, 69 me. I don't know what that even means, El Luchador.
That was on AEW.
That was on
Don
AEW.
Callis and Kenny Omega decided to do some 69.
Yeah, I'll get there. Should I get there now or should I go to NXT?
You should get there. What was it to talk about Raw?
Nothing. I was done with Raw.
Damian Priest and Elias are still going at it.
It's been 3 weeks now.
Was that 3 weeks ago? Was that last week?
No, that was just last week. That was just 1 week ago.
So, Marcus, I have to ask you this question. Marcus, how about those dives? Matt Jackson versus Ray Phoenix to kick off AEW Dynamite.
I didn't enjoy this match at all. I just felt like they were both just going through the motions.
So, Eric, I asked this exact same question. I asked the exact same question on Thursday, but then Marcus retorted with, it wasn't the right dive.
So, surprisingly, I had a conversation.
Not all dives matter. Not all dives matter.
You know, I had a detailed conversation with somebody at work about AEW because he says, I'm trying to get into it, but he said he really can't. And I said, I think the biggest problem with AEW is that there is absolutely no selling in the matches. Like, the thing is, Matt Jackson and Rey Fenix, they both did some impressive things in this match. But when people just bounce up, it doesn't resonate. It's a very indie style of wrestling that I know appeals to some people. It just doesn't appeal to me, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm assuming Rey Fenix and Pac are going to challenge for the tag team championship against the Young Bucks. We have no idea when that match is going to take place, but it will take place. Do you think that's the right direction, Manny, to have the Young Bucks go against Phoenix and Pac?
Well, they did win that unnecessary tag team battle royale at Revolution. So, yeah, they should, because they need to follow up on their promises. But again, there's too many tag teams in AEW, as you could tell from the actual battle royal, and only one tag team championship. So you need to find other things for these people to do.
Now, I apologize for this, but I'm about to circumcise a mosquito right here and really sweat the small things. When Rey Fenix and Pac came out to the ring, and they indicated that they won the Battle Royal, which makes them get a tag team title shot, they said that they were ranked number 5 in the rankings. Then we go to the audience where Kaz and Daniels were sitting out, and they were ranked number 1 to face the tag team champions. And apparently they're not going to get the shot. Marcus, when did they become the number 1 ranked tag team? What has took place?
Gotta watch AEW Dark.
Do you watch it?
No.
What about Elevation?
Every night. This is the problem. They just really need to do recaps. That's all you gotta do. Show this is why this is a team, or video package of this is them. Like what JR said, we need to elaborate more on that story of that. If SCU lose a match, they're done. We really heard highlight this at all.
Yeah, they had
JR sent down the show.
They also had to highlight that in the tag team battle royal because they got eliminated. That does not mean that they are done.
So
can we elaborate on the story and go with that? But I cannot like a match back to the original match that does 2 Canadian destroyers and just throw them away basically. I'm one on the outside of the ring, just like get back in.
So something I did like about AEW, I really enjoyed the backstage segment with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I thought it addressed the thing that happened at the end of Revolution perfectly. However, I thought that, as Marcus told me when I hit the playback button, that people have overplayed this over too much. And I thought what happened with Kenny, Don Callis, and the Good Brothers, I just didn't need all that to happen. And then Eddie Kingston come down to the ring and then Jon Moxley, because clearly, I guess Kenny and John are not through with this segment. Manny, did you feel that they solved all their problems with the Revolution with the Moxley and Kingston promo in the backstage area, or do you think it was appropriate what they did?
No, I felt the Kenny promo with Don Callis later on the night kind of covered it up a little bit, where they were like, oh, if the ring blew up, we'd get rid of Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, but like if because it didn't, they just look stupid and ridiculous, which kind of covers it up. You kind of cover up the wound, but like, yeah, they're still eating this massive. They still have to take this massive L, and it's hard to come back from that.
Marcus, do you think they can bounce back from the L that they took, or do you think it's just
they just don't care? But I just don't want to hear about it every week. Like, this should be the end of it. It's over. It didn't blow up. They made the jokes about it this week. Everybody said their side of the story, but I don't want to be reminded of the lack of an explosion that happened. From that match on every single episode of Dynamite. But I feel like they're gonna keep beating that dead horse. And by the way, the 69 be done, I think, is over the top. They should not have did that. Who yelled 69 and didn't do it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sick of the Good Brothers. I really am. They're
just there. They exist.
The only thing that they ever did for me that was good was probably when they were Chad Too Bad and soft power wrestling. But like, they're goons, and I guess that's what their purpose that they show.
What that did, it really shows that Vince saw nothing in them, and I don't see anything in them anymore.
What I don't understand is that this Forbidden Door with Impact and Dynamite. It's not really. I feel like they're not taking advantage of any of this. It's just kind of happening. Like the Good Brothers are here every week, but they kind of aren't like there's no war that people thought or invasion that was happening. You kind of got whatever's going on with Kenny and who's going to fight Moose or Rich Swann, but Kenny's going to win or whatever's going to happen with that. But you don't get that on Dynamite at all, but you get it on Impact. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a waste.
I think when AEW focuses on their in-house talent in matches that we haven't seen, that's when they excel best. Like, another thing that I really enjoyed, it wasn't Cody Rhodes versus Seth Gargis. No one cared about that match, but I thought what took place afterwards was seeing suited and booted Pentagon. I don't even know what his name is right now, but him talking through the translator. And I told Marcus at first I didn't like it, but now when I think about it, I was like, yes, I do enjoy this because this is fresh. Pentagon is actually talking, even if it's through a translator, and it's making a match seem like it's something, and it's not Cody going for the TNT title. So I'm all for this match between him and Pentagon. Marcus, I turn to you. I think you like Pentagon going after this. Do you think he will get the win over Cody?
Yeah, so we get a Pentagon singles run, hopefully, and he's going to fight Cody. Maybe Cody will lose to him, and we get something going with Pentagon, or it could be just a one-off, and Cody just beats him at the St. Patrick's Day shout-out, whatever the hell they're naming the show for next week. I hope it's not a one-off, and then we actually build something about it with either wrestler. Because Cody hasn't been doing anything in a minute since he took over the Shaq feud, and now he had a baby, and Pentagon... I think he's just back from whatever injury, visa, or whatever they're doing. I'm shocked story-wise, he should be going through Omega, right? Did he take out his eye?
I believe so. But, Manny, do you think it's a right way to go to maybe build up Pentagon with fighting Cody? Or did this match already happen once before, or am I mistaken by that?
It probably has, but like it didn't have anything behind it, much like this one does, where he's obviously called out that he wouldn't be able to hold his baby once he breaks his arm again.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's some mean shit.
So
wrestling.
I like that.
I feel like they're on a different show. I feel like this segment and the Scorpio Sky Darby, I feel like it was a different wrestling show.
It felt like
what everything else was on.
Well, I mean, most people say it felt like WWE to us. That's what it felt like because it was a sound wrestling match. Both Darby and Scorpio were selling. But, of course, in a TNT championship match, Scorpio Sky came up short once again, and he still had that disgust look on his face. Last time he had that look on his face is when he lost to Cody, and he disappeared for almost 6 months. I hope Scorpio Sky can bounce back because I think that you can really enhance Darby if you have him feud with other people. What happened?
Because I know what you were going to say. I know what you're going to say.
Go ahead, Marcus. Say what you was going to say.
No. Let Manny do it. He got his hand raised.
Manny, go ahead.
So I'll give Marcus the credit because he did mention this on Thursday. Do you think Scorpio Sky comes back next week with an African accent?
Some Apollo shit.
I hope not, because we didn't hear Apollo talk this week, so he might not have that accent next week when he comes back.
No. He was when he was yelling at Biggie, he was yelling in that accent.
Oh shit. I don't know what Scorpio Sky is going to do. Clearly, he's not part of SCU anymore.
But is there anything better than turning heel with a heel hook? Huh? Come on. Give it to me.
Maybe, Marcus. But that was actually a really good match. I really enjoyed that match. Then AEW
that RKO though.
Yes. How about that RKO dive, Marcus? How about that RKO dive? My only issue is I wish they didn't show the other angle because I thought it looked better from the behind angle. But that's once again circumcising mosquitoes once again.
Where have you got this phrase from?
From Marcus. This is Marcus' phrase.
It's me.
Yeah.
And I took that from Jerry Jones.
Why? Because, Benny, it means to circumcise a mosquito. That means that you're dealing with small shit right now. We're not trying to sweat the small shit right now. Marcus put me on game with this term, and I love it. And I've said this.
Yeah, but you're abusing it.
Marcus.
You're abusing it. I use it once a month.
I'm an abuser. What can I say?
That's not gonna end. That's not gonna end well for you.
That's not. It's really not. And
I can't wait to play the tape record. Exhibit A, Your Honor. I'm an abuser. What can I tell you?
But anybody who knows me
that's not a context.
Hey, let's put it this way. Anybody that knows me knows that I would be the victim before I would be the abuser, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Speaking of somebody being abused, the thing that I would say, someone's grace who has fallen so far in AEW, and I'm so disappointed because I actually became a fan, but now I'm no longer a fan, and I'm talking about Adam Page. Adam Page is on a lawnmower surrounded by the Dark Order, and I don't know how he can bounce back from this. Manny, can he bounce back from this?
Well, I feel like he should have been that heel group at the end of the night, but we'll get onto that later. I feel like I feel like this was a payoff for a storyline that was going on the Young Bucks show. What's it called? The one on YouTube. Being the elite. I feel like there's a payoff of being the elite, of them trying to constantly recruit Adam Page. But I'm tired of stuff like this. I don't want to watch Being the Elite to see minute storylines go on that I have to pay attention to that for 20 minutes a week and then watch another 2 hours of Dynamite.
Marcus, do you have anything to chime on about Adam Page and his downward fall?
The story. Well, you said it. I don't believe there's no such thing as a wrestler not being able to come back from anything. Wrestlers always come back. Okay, it's a stupid saying. Oh, that person's buried and they're dead for good. They always come back. This isn't no low point. It was a finish to the storyline, and it looked like we're going to continue the Matt Hardy storyline because I believe that one Dark Order guy, I think it's number 5, maybe number 7, who was left behind. He gonna take the money from Matt. He gonna take the money from Matt, and we're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this story going.
Now that we mentioned that, man.
Manny, can I just say something real quick before you go? Because I know what Manny might say. At this point, I'm about to do something that I never thought I was going to do. My allegiance to the Blade, the Butcher, and the Bunny no longer exists. I'm sorry. They took money from Matt, and I'm tired of them taking money from people. I mean, they came in taking money from MJF. Then they took money. Like, God damn it. You guys need to stand on your own. You were friends with Eddie Kingston. How did Matt Hardy tickle your fancy with money? I ain't never been as disgusted as I was when I saw the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny walk in. And if I was Private Party, I would be upset too. Now, Manny.
Well, if you're not visiting the pay window nearly enough as they are, you're not gonna get free money off Matt Hardy.
No, I can't take money from Matt Hardy.
So you would continue getting loser checks, then get money from Matt Hardy.
Yes. Fuck Matt Hardy.
In a pandemic.
You are a bad businessman. And I fear the life of Sharpie Wife.
I will eat ramen before I take money from Matt Hardy. I will eat ramen.
Bullshit.
I would.
If I got a check from Matt Hardy, say he coming on the show, Eric, he coming on the show.
And then we'll
title that show. Money. We'll taking that money.
Right, we'll title that show the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show, and I guarantee if you have me on a guest with Matt Hardy, he will never be back on this show again. Never. Because I will make him so mad.
We won't let you on. We won't even split the money with you.
We split the money with him because that's the plan. But then, in AEW fashion, Eric would have saw this coming and had already made a deal with Matt Hardy. But too late, Eric. Little did you know, I had made a deal first with Matt Hardy before you did it.
Maybe.
I had made a deal with Jeff Hardy to come out of nowhere.
Jeff Hardy, I'm okay with, Marcus. I'm okay with Jeff Hardy.
And if that didn't make sense, neither does the stuff that's going on at AEW.
So
we're back to the turn. That's literally what happens. That's really what happened with the MJF Jericho segment.
El Luchador, I know where Matt was at. I know where he was at. I know he was in my top 5, but he hasn't been there for almost 5 years. And it pains me. It pains me to realize that I had him there.
Chris Benoit was also in that top 5.
God damn it, people.
I'm starting to think this is more infamous now.
Eric's top 5 is like dangerous.
Yeah. Who's number 4? Velveteen Dream?
No, that's your guy. I mean, don't try to put your guy on me. That's your dude.
No.
People in there.
His number 1 guy is Swerve Scott. We all know.
I am not going to disclose or deny what's going on with me and Swerve Scott in our top 5.
He got called a snake this week.
He is a snake. He is a snake.
Speaking of a snake, Marcus, are you okay with Christian Cage debuting and presumably
so happy you can say that name again,
getting a title shot against Kenny Omega?
Well, he looked at the title, didn't he?
He looked at the title, and I think that's just as good as pointing to the WrestleMania side.
So this whole segment ended with Moxley, Kingston, and everybody ran out, and somehow Christian, who TV time in the middle of this was stolen, decides to not say anything and just stare at the title. God, I hope he don't get that title shot. I really don't. It's to me. I think I said this to you. Maybe this was just like watching Edge on SmackDown. Yeah, that day O'Brien. Oh, that's a bowl of Frosty Flakes right there. That's WrestleMania. When you look at Christian and Omega, there's those Frosty Flakes with the polar bear on there. I don't want this. I want Frosty Flakes, damn it.
Lucha Dog said Eric's top 5 switches every 5 weeks. No, that's Booker T.
So Marcus,
that guy is my fave 5.
So Marcus, I'm going to ask you this question. You don't want Christian Cage going towards the AEW title. But let me ask this question. I'm going to give you this or that.
Yeah.
Would you take Christian Cage going after the title or the arcade match between Chucky Taylor, Orange Cassidy?
Cage. I'll take Cage. Give me Cage.
Yeah. What are you talking about here? What are we talking about here? How dare you? That's like picking before, hey, Marcus, do you want a new car if this is the price you right? Or would you take this mystery box that's covered in shit?
Okay, Marcus, I have another one. No, this one's for Manny. Manny, Christian Cage, or seeing the 6-woman tag again between Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Maki Itoh against Shida, Thunder Rosa, and Mizunami.
Who's Tao?
Mac, do you know the one that came out singing?
The one that was in all red, man.
Maki
the one that did those terrible microphone shots.
Yeah, the worst mic shots in the history of mic shots.
So, Manny, what you picking,
man?
What you picking?
I'm picking Christian Cage. And for the one reason he's still using that TNA music, which was fire.
Let me tell you guys.
I also use that TNA countdown.
I both agree with both of your decisions in this situation.
Yeah, but this wasn't a real comparison. As my battery died to my laptop because I didn't realize it wasn't charged.
Eric, I got asked a question on Thursday.
Okay.
Desert Island. Ember Moon or Nia Jax? Who are you going to be stuck on that island with? So do you want my answer first? So you can
because I think this is easy for me. Nia Jax.
Why?
Because I can't stand Ember Moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but we had actual answers. My answer was...
We gave reasons.
I gotta eat.
Yeah, he plans on eating Nia Jax on the island.
Yep. We might not go safe for a while, and she's a large carcass.
So Manny's already talking about how he's gonna become a cannibal on an island, and you know what? That makes sense. It makes sense. More meat than both. But hold on. Do you want to know why I am picking Nia Jax?
No, I don't. But she'll keep you warm at night. Will she keep you warm at night?
No, maybe that too. But we will be found very quick. Because she's the Rock cousin. He ain't letting his family go. He ain't letting his Rock. Vin Diesel and everybody coming. It's going to be like San Andreas 2 or Skyscraper or whatever those favorite movies. The Rock will come and save us. Him and Kevin Hart both.
I feel like Manny would just kill Ember Moon if he picked her before they even realized they were on the Lost Island. He was like, shit. And then he walked to the other way. It's like a resort on the other side. Well, damn. I killed Ember Moon for no reason.
Casino right there. And everybody's looking at him killing his woman. Like, what's going on here?
Eric,
not deserted at all.
I said this to Marcus. There's a reason Ember is the most basic fire move in the Pokemon franchise.
Well played, Manny. I really appreciate that because, I've been on Pokemon Go heavy.
Was terrible, though, right?
Huh?
This 6-man tag was terrible, right? I thought we got put back into the Divas era.
I felt bad for Thunder Rosa. I really did. I in this whole match, that was the only person I cared about was Thunder Rosa. And I was like, man, Sheeta's a bad champion. And I think Marcus, and I might get a lot of hate, but I get hate anyway. I'm ready to say this. I think Sheeta is a worse champion than Rio. And I stand by that statement.
Well, I was gonna say something because I was alluded to that you may come at me this week.
No, we can say that for the NXT thing. So, here's what I'm gonna say about this. How do you feel about Britt Baker and Sheeta, not Sheeta, and Thunder Rosa in the first ever AEW Dynamite Women's Main Event match. It's unsanctioned, but it's a main event. I mean, how do you feel about that? And do you feel that's the ultimate spit in the face of Shida, who is your champion, for God's sakes?
Well, Shida did get, she might be hurt because, Vicky Guerrero was getting her those slaps on the thighs, man, when she was in that move. So, Shida can't.
Got a massage.
She can't fight.
Get hard leg.
I don't know what they're doing with their women's division. 1 minute, like Britt Baker is trying to be pushed to the moon, and next minute she's not. I mean, I'm assuming next week we get Jade Cargill because they announced that, so I'm assuming she's going to beat somebody up again. And I just don't know what they're doing.
Serena Deeb.
I don't know where Serena Deeb is at. Maybe because didn't NWA come back?
Kind of, but she's AEW.
Eric, what's your take on the influx of Japanese women's wrestlers into AEW? Because, I feel like they should be focusing on what they already have rather than bringing in more.
Well, my big issue with the influx of Japanese wrestlers is that there's no backstory. It's like they're coming into AEW and we're supposed to expect who they are, and they're going in and they're being their established talent that they already have. And I think that could be a mistake because, I don't know who this what was the big lady that fought Shida at Revolution, which you said was a solid match, but her comedy style wrestling.
I didn't say it was solid.
You said the commentating was solid. Was that what you said?
Yeah, no, because they obviously sold this as a 10-year feud.
I did not say that. No. Let me clarify. I did not say this was a good.
Yeah, match. they did. Excalibur sold.
Oh.
Barry exhausted.
What happened?
Eric's gone.
I'm still here, but I don't know what happened to my battery.
It's exhausted, apparently. Yeah, Excalibur.
I am famished.
Oh, shit.
Excalibur sold the story of the 10-year feud between Shida and Mizunami, but they've only faced three times in the space of 10 years, so I don't think this is a long-going feud.
Can we talk about how Eric's camera just blew up in front of us?
But I'm still hearing audio, baby. I'm still here.
I would like a glass of water, his camera said. I am exhausted. We have done this for every week for the past 15 years. I am exhausted. I cannot go anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I have had enough.
It gave up.
On the screen, it's a black screen. I hope to God when the light comes back on, he's like the Fiend or something. Or the Undertaker.
It will jack up our views. Put him as the Fiend. Exclusive interview with the Fiend. But as we
let me keep moving. Although I'm in a black box. Marcus,
Chris and Eric get cancelled since I left.
Eric LePew.
He did say he was. He did say he was an abuser.
Yeah, just like Pepe Le Pew. Hey, what's your thoughts on Pepe Le Pew? I know it's a sign.
I don't understand why we bringing up old shit. I don't know if there was anybody out there in the world that'd be like, you know who I like? I like Pepe Le Pew. That's my favorite character. Everybody knew he was a jerk. He never won. He never got the girl. I mean,
he was a rapist, Eric. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's not like he was winning. The person who
he failed rapist, it makes it worse.
If anything, Bugs Bunny should be cancelled. He was a bully.
No.
So was Elmer. Elmer Fudd should be cancelled. He was a hunter of animals.
You know who should have been cancelled? I'm not even in focus anymore. Damn.
It's all right. We lost focus anyway by talking about Looney Tunes. Let's go.
Yeah, look at my mouth, man.
Oh no.
There it is.
No.
Look at it. There we go.
When we were zoomed in, I thought it was Good Morning in America.
He saw Michael Strahan's teeth.
But with that being said, as my camera is no longer exhausted, but technically,
got that water.
You know who I would cancel? You know who I would cancel? I would cancel that damn Coyote. No, not the Coyote, the damn Road Runner. The Road Runner was a bitch. And I hated that damn thing.
Can't cancel him.
But something that
no one cared about Pepe Le Pew. I honestly think no one thought about Pepe Le Pew until he got canceled. Now he had the most number one selling merchandise on the planet because he was canceled. But who cared about? No one thought about Pepe Le Pew.
Chris, I am not justifying Pepe Le Pew's acts, but at the same time, I was a kid. I didn't realize what Pepe was doing was wrong. Shit, I mean, we can't sit here and adjudicate things that happened almost 40 years ago. Almost 40 years ago.
Different. Everything is different. I said going back in time and canceling people is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back in time and cancel you for an old-ass cartoon.
The Cookie Monster was going with drawn addiction during Sesame Street.
And let me make a point, and then we're gonna move on to the main thing. What happened? The Inner Circle War Council. You cannot compare Pepe Le Pew to Bill Cosby for the simple reason is that Bill Cosby is a real person and he affected real women with his actions. Pepe Le Pew was a cartoon. He was a skunk.
Who tried to rape another cat?
Well, happy birthday, Chris, if it is your birthday, since your birthday text and calls won't stop.
It's a celebration.
That was a weird flex to tell in the chat.
Yeah.
You could have just said, hey, guys, it's my birthday.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? Like, sometimes you gotta flex the way you need to flex. So, moving on, let's talk about a flex. Last week, Marcus was frustrated. He was okay with the forming of the quasi Four Horsemen, with the exception of Sean Spears being a part of it. He really disliked Sean Spears being a part of it. Now, after some smoke and mirrors and clever ruses and whatever MJF was trying to do, MJF is now a part of Tully, FTR, and Sean Spears. Marcus, how do you feel about this entire turn of events?
I'm going to say I like the pairing if Sean Spears wasn't in it. And I do like this pairing anyway. Even if he's in it, I'm sure he's going to get jumped out eventually because he's a loser and he doesn't belong. He doesn't deserve good, nice things. With that being said, I enjoy the pairing. However, it's extremely convoluted. Extremely convoluted. The fact that they come to the ring and MJF plans, I guess, to jump Jericho, but then Sammy Guevara comes out. He has footage to show that they're going to attack Jericho, but Jericho goes, "We knew what you were going to do all along, and we talked to each other for months now." But it seems like if they were talking, why did they let this go on for so long?
Why did they go into the tag team title match? Why?
Yeah. Why are we jumping through hoops? Why are we beating up Papa Buck together? Oh, why are we going through all these hoops? And then they get to this week, and he's like, okay, but MJF I knew you knew all along. So while you were doing that, I created my own group. That still didn't stop us from beating the shit out of you right here. And I was like, what? The lights go out, and then they show up. It's a fine pairing. It was a twist I didn't see coming because I thought Sammy was going to turn. But with all the twists and turns, they could have kept it simple without all the twists and turns in it. It just kept it simple with him just having this group.
Manny, what say you, sir?
I kind of don't like this. I kind of wanted to see Wardlow break away and do his own thing.
Take me away.
See, if you added Wardlow to that group without Sean Spears, I think that would have been a decent group of newcomers. But you've added MJF into it, which you didn't need, and then you've still got Sean Spears attached to it, which you also don't need. So I don't really like it. And then, as you just mentioned, all the convolutedness going on with all the ruses going on involved with it, just didn't make sense. It didn't need to happen this way.
So
they could have done it Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy all over again. Sorry.
Yeah, they could have done it in a more understandable way rather than jumping through hoops to get to where they needed to be.
Manny, there's a question for you in the chat room as I speak on this. So for me personally, I was very disappointed about this segment for the simple reason that I was hoping that Proud and Powerful Sammy Guevara would be broken free from the Inner Circle. I think the Inner Circle is just like the New Day. They are played out, and we no longer need them going. And so now that we're going to have battles of the Inner Circle versus whatever MJF faction is, I just, it's like you're cashing in one tragedy for another tragedy. I thought the faction with Tully being the leader was perfectly fine. I don't need MJF to be in charge. Quite frankly, I'm going to say something that's probably blasphemous and people are going to hate. I don't like MJF anymore. I think he wishes he was a Miz, but he can't even put on Miz's shoes. Oh. And it's just like, it's disappointing because it's just like with a lot of people on their roster. You saw some hope and you saw some bright flashes of things can do it, but then the booking of AEW just, to me, ruins the lackluster of what they are. And it's like, you look at Adam Page, you look at Jungle Boy, you look at Darby Allin, and you look at even MJF, and they're not being positioned to be in the proper spotlight to move their company forward when they're supposed to be the younger and more entertaining company. So, like, for me, when people always say that Andrade should leave, Black should leave, it's a possibility they will go to AEW or Impact and still not be used. Look at Matt Cardona. People wanted him to be used, and he's not. I think he's employed by Impact, but I don't think they use him. So it's just like,
no, he's not on a long-term deal with Impact. I think he's got the same deal he had with AEW.
Yeah. So clearly nobody wants to invest and keep him for long term, and it's like, I just don't like it. But I guess it probably made a lot of people happy.
To answer Chris's question, it's not really. It's a sample. But we're not really going to sell these unless there's a need to, unless there's a need.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't buy anything, but if you decided you wanted to go to storefrontier.com,
anyway.
This won't be on Store Frontier. You have to buy this directly from me, and it will be £50, which will be split 3 ways between us.
Well, it'll be more like.
I better keep it. Like I was like, it's about time we get anything.
Marcus, that would be like a 80-10-10 split because Betty should get all the profits. I mean, I don't.
Am I off camera?
You were. You kept.
Why would you tell me when I'm not censored? I just
because Marcus,
I realized how uncensored I was.
Because you get upset when I tell you to do things, so I just try not to tell you what to do.
How do I? Should I be censored?
You're fine. You're fine right now. I can move you over a little bit. So now it's time to talk about my favorite show of the week.
The camera's not exhausted.
Which I think is the best show of the week, and that was NXT. NXT started off with fire with William Regal, who was frustrated beyond belief when he announced that TakeOver would not just be one night, but it would be 2 nights. And honestly, if you're a WWE fan, this week for WrestleMania with NXT is going to be overboard, and it might be bonkers. Marcus, are you looking forward to all of that wrestling that you can get?
Just like your camera, I am exhausted thinking about all this wrestling that week. However, night 2, me and Manny plan on live streaming the NXT TakeOver. If you're interested, enjoy it. It's going to be a drinking, and we're just going to watch NXT TakeOver night 2.
What day is that on?
Thursday.
No,
only on the Peacock.
No, but what date?
Peacock. It's the week of WrestleMania. It's like the 8th, the 9th,
so
something like that.
It really depends on if I'm back at work. So I'm not really sure when I'm going to be back at work because it really depends on how Sharpie Wife heals up. But his next announcement was he was so frustrated what Adam Pearce did last week, the shenanigans that he pulled, that he went and he got these tag team titles made for the women's. I felt like they were backstage because you can't get titles made that quick. And then he awards it to the Dusty Cup finalists of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And at that moment, everything was right. Would you agree, Manny? It felt right for them to be the women's tag team champion.
Yeah, and then the lovely Shotzi came into the ring, and the despicable Ember Moon got in that ring and declared that they wanted a title match for the night. Unnecessary. Let them have the title for at least a week, people.
NXT was moving at a fast pace because they wanted to give us 3 title matches this week. And I know Manny knows I have criticism for the EO Tony Storm match that I just didn't enjoy that match that much. EO got a really good win on that one, but it was not my favorite match. Marcus, how did you feel about that match between EO?
I don't get to talk about the tag team titles.
I'm sorry, Marcus. Go ahead, because we were going to talk about the match.
Fuck that tag team titles, man. Fuck them. They shouldn't exist. They shouldn't exist in the first place. Raquel Gonzalez, they took everything away from Dakota Kai. Just give them the real tag team title. Why do they want women's tag team and they can bounce around from each show? I don't need another tag team, another poor tag team division in the WWE. How dare they admit this, and I spit on it. Tui.
Well, Marcus, I understand your disgust, but I also feel like, Marcus, that NXT is the one company that has enough female wrestlers to have an actual women's tag team division. Like,
Tui. No, it don't matter. I believe all tag team belts should have the stipulation that they created with the first women's tag team belts, in which it gives you the option to go to show. And it shouldn't be this many I don't need the dirty dogs, as they are calling themselves, to be a SmackDown Tag Team Champion, and I don't need Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin to have a tag team title. I just need one tag team champion. I don't need all these belts. There are too many belts. Everybody got a belt. All right? That's the problem with boxing. That's the problem with everything else. Everybody got a belt. All right? You got to fight to get these belts. I'm so sick of it. You shouldn't have 3 title matches this week. Everybody got a belt.
Marcus, you're really passionate about this. You're really upset about the 3 title matches. I enjoyed the 3 title matches. Manny, do you agree with your co-host?
Well, you weren't like this on Thursday.
I was.
So what changed since Thursday?
I said it. You can go back, check the tape. Check the tape, goddammit. I said it, but I got more enraged as I thought about this even more. Okay? The more I think about it, the more convoluted this all has been to get here. It doesn't make sense why Raquel and Dakota got these titles tonight that shouldn't have existed, only to lose these titles that shouldn't have existed to Shotzi and her. And
you know what? Fuck everyone in the back as well that congratulated Shotzi and Ember when they came. Yeah. So I'm standing with the Wade to give them the stink eye.
So I take it that both of you guys are very upset that Ember and Shotzi got this title. For me personally,
I'm upset the way they discarded Dakota Kai. Okay? I know I said you shouldn't be upset the wrestlers don't die. I felt like they assassinated Dakota Kai tonight for no reason.
Marcus.
And it started Rhea Ripley earlier this year when she put her in that tiny box.
Marcus, I agree with you. What they did to Dakota Kai was inexcusable. However, Marcus, the idea of Io going against Raquel Gonzalez entices me. I look forward to that match, and I'm okay with sacrificing a few wrestlers to get the match that I think will be fire.
You may got a point there, but what I'm saying is screw that. Now let's talk about Toni Storm and Io Shirai. I thought it was a good match. Manny, how did you feel?
I thought it was a good match.
How did you feel?
You can't even claim that was one of the worst women's matches of that night.
I thought it was a fine match. I thought it was okay. I just thought everything was rushed. I just thought like this whole story between Io and Toni, and like I feel like Toni needed to bring up a little bit more stock in herself because like the thing is, yes, if you watched NXT UK, you knew who Toni Storm was, but I don't know if the American audience is that familiar with Toni Storm. I could be wrong with that, but I just felt like they really rushed this match between them, trying to get a story. But I mean, it was a good end to the mean. It made Io look strong, and then Io was like, I ain't no bitch. Come on, Raquel Gonzalez. You just lost your tag team title. I'm ready to whoop your ass too. And I look forward to that match because I will be cheering Raquel Gonzalez in this situation because that's who I am.
See, when you said he was going to come at me on Thursday, yeah, because we talked too, Eric. I thought this was going to be way worse because I literally had prepared to the fact that I believe your girl Sasha Banks' title reign is similar to Braun Strowman's Universal title reign.
Wow.
Oh.
And then
I don't even know why that came up. Wow. Ooh.
Yeah. Let me adjust myself in this seat.
You gotta fight. You gotta adjust the trousers.
Manny,
put them up.
I'm gonna let you know. I agree with you. Sasha Banks ain't doing shit with this title, man. It's disappointing what she's doing. So
Sasha
I'm all
Banks
about
stinking up the joint.
I'm all about
really
Team Bianca. And you know what? I blame you for this, Manny. I blame you for this. Why I can't tolerate Sasha Banks no more. True, it's her fault. But once you pointed out her fucking accent and this fake voice that she's doing, it bothers me beyond belief.
And the laugh. Come on.
I enjoy the laugh, be honest.
So
seriously,
the laugh makes me laugh because it's so stupid. It reminds me of Seth's laugh when he goes, his cat.
No, when Sasha Banks does it, it reminds me of Rita from Power Rangers.
So Pete Dunne destroyed.
An evil person's laugh.
Pete Dunne destroyed Jake Atlas. I don't think we need to have any more talk about that.
Destroyed.
He killed him.
He killed him. He tortured him for 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, he killed a man.
He did. Marcel Bartel is still talking to Thatcher about joining. Daddy Ciampa's like, don't join, which I think is a very intriguing storyline.
Well, they've also prompted that they want the big fish of the water.
And
yeah, Walter versus Thatcher. Take over.
Despite the outcome of the match, I think Shotzi, Ember, and Raquel and Dakota had my favorite match of NXT. I really enjoyed this tag team match, and I would actually say that it was sloppy. It was sloppy at points, and that was all Ember's fault. But I think that it surprised me enough with the win of Shotzi and Ember. And you know what? I'm glad to see Shotzi would go. She is a friend of the show, and I celebrate her victory, although she picks bad partners. Marcus, you seem like you disagree with my analysis.
This was your favorite match of NXT?
It was.
Over Cole and Balor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, don't take Eric's reviews on the Running Review Show very seriously, people. When he's making things like this.
We already said people are entitled to their own opinion. I don't understand why I can't like something different from you guys.
How dare you? Because you're wrong.
Why am I wrong, Marcus? Why did you like Cole and Finn better?
You can like what you like, but you got to suffer the consequences of when we say you're wrong. It's just a better match, you know. They did some leg slaps and stuff, and Kyle O'Reilly showed up, and it was a good match. It was just a better match. It was longer and wasn't as sloppy.
I just felt
something I've seen before. The results was better than the tag team women's title on the line, and it just seemed like it was a better match.
For me, it was predictable, and that was my biggest issue. It wasn't my least favorite match. That was EO versus Tony, but I like the tag match, and it's okay. I like tag team wrestling when it's done right. And plus, I'm a big fan of Raquel Gonzalez.
Chris has asked, and he's already asked this in the past to both myself and Marcus. Eric, are you trying to get the blowout cut like Tommaso?
No. I hate that I didn't cut my hair this week, and luckily I'm not turning my head to the side or seeing the back because it's a shame.
I can see it.
It's a shame what's going on right now.
Yeah, I haven't cut my hair in a while. I'm going to do it tomorrow, I swear. And I may even shave the beard.
Can I tell you guys something? What I need somebody to stop. I need Caden Carter to mind her own goddamn business. I'm tired of them messing with Xia Li and Casey Catanzaro coming out there. I mean, it's keep showing that Boa ain't shit.
How dare you? Boa's got some defense. Defense.
No, we didn't even talk about that in AEW. The basketball game that broke out in the middle of the show.
Because, Marcus, no one cared about Lee Johnson versus Ethan Page when I can't hear Ethan
Jack
Page.
really left his mark on the Dynamite.
Yeah.
Jack is now since Jack died by falling to the table, he is now haunting the AEW Daily Space Arena and has piped in basketball noises.
Manny,
it's amazing.
Are you excited with Jordan Devlin cutting his promo inside the airport saying that he's coming to America to take his title to fight against Santos Escobar?
To be honest, I don't really care. Like, the Cruiserweight title has never been a big thing for me.
Maybe I asked the rogue person, Marcus, you're Mr. 205 Live, and I know you want Mansoor to get this title back. You're jumping at the bit, Marcus. Jordan Devlin coming after Santos Escobar. Are you ready for that?
I was ready for it, and I'm excited for it. We're finally going to have a true Cruiserweight champion, and I need Jordan Devlin to lose so Trent Seven can lose all his weight and not get that title shot after all. Trent Seven is on the quest to make it under 205, Eric. He's getting the best shape of his life. And for that title that match to not happen.
Those videos all look sad of Trent Seven on NXT, of him trying to lose weight.
So
no one's happy when they're losing weight, Manny.
So Chris asked a very good question. He said, what is going to cause the old lady to leave the chair? What is going to make Tia Ma, I think that's her name, to get out the chair, Marcus?
Oh my God. Tia Shaw, attorney-at-law. Tia Shaw, attorney-at-law. Okay? What's going to make her leave the chair? If Boa goes down. If Boa gets knocked out. Because this week I thought Boa was going to hit a woman. I really did. Like, when he took that crutch away, I thought he would just go, woman, you lucky I'm a gentleman right now. But one more time, Candy I'll punch you in your face on national TV, and I don't give a fuck. But she gonna leave that chair. Somebody's gonna get her.
Pepe Le Pew was my idol, baby. So, Manny, what do you feel about...
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
What? You can't say that today.
Manny, what's your opinion on Zoe Stark?
She's gonna be a star, Eric. She is going to be a star.
Now, are you being serious or are you being facetious?
No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
They're building her to be a star.
I like her for some reason. Marcus, do you like Zoe Stark?
She's going to be a star, Eric. She's going to be a major star in this town. And then she's going to get buried by Charlotte Flair.
Now
I feel like saying it, but no. She's gonna be. She should be huge. She's extremely. She looks extremely excellent. She's put on great performances. You see, her got the look. Everything seen about her seems to work. She's gonna make it after all.
There's one thing that took place on NXT that grind my gears more than Ember Moon and Shotzi winning the tag team title, and that is the complete disrespect for GYV when they lost to Legado del Fantasma. Thanks to MSK and then Fandango. That is not a pairing that I need any of you guys to do.
I support them with the Spaceman interest every single time. I stated this on the show this week. If you do the Spaceman intro, I'm immediately intrigued because it's so stupid. And the fact that wasn't Breezango under the space costume, that was the best twist of the rest of the week.
Chris, to answer your question, we tried to live stream Wrestling Empire and it didn't work out too well. Yeah.
Wrestling Empire, man.
Wait, that was the Boomer Gaming channel.
Yes. So Manny, what about you? I forgot my question. Oh, did you like the whole? Did you like GYV losing to Legado del Fantasma with the help of MSK and Fandango?
No, but again, the Spaceman stuff is hilarious. You cannot deny the Spaceman stuff.
My favorite thing about this segment, though, is also Escobar needed to talk to Regal. Like, hey, motherfucker, what's going on here? Hold up. I wasn't going to hear about boys in this match, but y'all go handle that. We need to talk about this Jordan Devlin coming over here with some fake-ass belt.
I told you.
I'm going to talk your ear off.
Mark, I told you that's why Santos need to be in the room with Roman, because he on that Apollo level shit. Like, Regal, we need to listen. You fucking up right now. Who is this Jordan Devlin? He don't even work here. So... Jean Jacket,
you know, if he went to sit in the room with Roman would tell him to lose that jacket.
He probably
that was a terrible green jacket.
I like the green jacket.
You gotta get some fashion sense, like my boy Seth. I told Seth to go to his tailor, change his life. By the way, I believe Seth is winning the suit game of All Wrestling, right? For the past few weeks, he's been winning, even with the leather suit.
If you like that type of stuff that he's wearing, I guess so. But I actually. Outside the flooding, I think Reginald's outfits have been pretty nice. Like, if his pants were a little bit longer.
I think Reginald wearing them makes me not want to wear anything like that.
Big guys should not wear suits.
So, Manny, are you excited with the matchup of Finn versus Karrion Kross and Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole?
I'm all right with Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. I'm not too sold on Finn versus Karrion Kross. I just don't. As I was telling Mark, I just don't feel like Karrion Kross is the guy.
So you probably just answered the question. So you're in the same camp as me that Karrion Kross is not the guy that I thought he was.
Yeah, and then I did say I don't think he's in the top 5 wrestlers of NXT, and then I couldn't name another 4. I only was able to name 4, and I couldn't name a 5th.
I'm gonna say this right now, and this is with all due respect to Karrion Kross. I would prefer to see Aleister Black in his position than Karrion Kross. I think Aleister Black versus Finn would be a very good match. You would have the Smokes. You would have the Demons. I think it'll be really exciting. I think Karrion Kross, his injuries really stopped his momentum. Marcus, do you agree with that, or are you still team Karrion Kross?
Well, I think the everything about Karrion Kross should work. He is the modern day Rusev and Lana in NXT with him and Scarlett. I think it's going to work. If it doesn't work with Finn, I think that's the end of it. He's not going to be anybody that can have a good match. Because Finn has to be able to, and I'm going to use this pun, they should call the match carrying. He's going to be carrying Kross.
Ooh. I don't think they should even continue with the Scarlett bullshit going into this match, because the match should hold itself. You shouldn't have to do all the Scarlett nonsense to get this match over, because it's Finn fucking Balor.
And I agree with Chris, and I normally don't agree with Chris often. Right. I need Finn versus Walter. That's who I need. I don't need any of this other bullshit.
Eric, I've been waiting for this match for an entire year now.
I know, Manny. It's
true.
We lost many things in the pandemic, but what we lost the most was Finn versus Walter.
Yeah.
So
I hope we get it, and I hope it's absolute trash.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I hope we get it, and it's absolute trash. Just
Marcus,
because I know you want it, I know Manny want it, I know I want it, and I know the whole anybody that watches NXT or knows of this feud or this story or whatever knows it, and then they say Walter versus Finn is gonna be fired, and then you get it, and you go, "What the hell
Marcus,
is this?"
I'm gonna tell you this right
trash.
now. If we ever get Finn,
kind of stuff that makes me laugh.
Mark, if we ever get Finn versus Walter, and that match is trash, I will watch a marathon of Ember Moon matches on a live stream, being punished watching that. That's what I would do. That's how confident I am. And you know what? I'll even sweeten the pot. I will also watch Matt Hardy matches.
Oh, without
some good ones.
Like an Ember Moon
matches.
Marcus.
No Jeff.
Marcus.
You can't have no Jeff in there. You can't have no tag matches. Just
Marcus, I would even let you and Manny pick the matches to torture me.
They're all AEW matches.
I might go TNA. I might get cold-blooded Matt Hardy on you.
All right, so Chris sent in an email.
Terrible gimmick.
He said he licks hands and slaps Eric in the back of the neck. My bad, Eric. Bad. Everyone in Maryland is not from Baltimore. To give Marcus some ABW relief, I'm going to talk about wrestling. Here are random things I want at this year's WrestleMania. Cameron Grimes finished his $1 Million Man transformation by introducing his new servant, Ricochet. Thus get him off the pile of trash that is Raw, and also giving him a direction and a new people to work with. Also for Grimes to introduce his version of the $1 Million belt. I need this to be decked out and be as gaudy as possible. Huge rhinestones made out of reinforced cardboard, have stickers on it, etc. You know, I was disappointed that Cameron was not on TV this week at NXT, but they had a lot going on. Then he's continued.
Show this week.
He continues to say,
Rico was like, we don't need your bullshit this week. It's probably the conversation.
In night one,
no bullshit.
He says, in night one with NXT heel version of Sasha Banks versus Bianca, have the match be similar to Bayley Sasha when Bayley won the title. Give me what I want. Bianca. Let me have this. I'll go around my house saying...
Wait. You added that to that email because that sounded disgusting.
No, the Bianca is in the email. Go check the email, Manny. It's right there.
No, it's the way you delivered it.
You know what? Fuck you both. Let me have this. I'll go around my house saying she did it.
I'm just
she did it.
My list, baby.
Whether or not I'll be wearing pants, we'll stay tuned. Hey, Vince, we don't want Randy versus Bray. No. Let's say 3 weeks before the pay-per-view, Randy once again spews up the black ooze. This time
I
is
want
gallons
Randy
of it.
versus Alexa Bliss.
Show ends. The following week, random backstage guy is seen covered in black ooze. 1 week before Mania, we see Symbiote Randy. Yes, that's right, a total CGI match of Randy Orton versus his symbiote counterpart. Go full on Hollywood with this match. A fun 10 to 15 minute encounter of just batshit crazy shit. I'm not an Orton fan, but I enjoy the hell out of this. Asuka versus Rhea versus cosplay. I don't want my daddy helping anybody but me, spoiled brat. I don't want to be like daddy. Stop comparing me to him, even though I ripped everything from him and called myself from the town he's from, Charlotte Flair. Just have Rhea and Asuka beat the ever-living hell out of her, and those two have a match on the year. Have a match of the year candidate once she's out the way. Winner, I don't really care. Or you can run an angle leading to Mania where she declares her undying love for a wrestling podcaster and she waives her rights to the match. We have various segments through the night as she searches California for her one true lust, the grand finale. Roman versus Edge, meh. More Mania booking this week. And hi, Manny. And that was Chris' email for March 9th.
Well, you know.
You didn't even take any pause. You didn't even take any pauses to allow us to comment on this.
Well,
Charlotte disrespect for no reason.
At this point, I need to conclude the show so I can be on time for the appointment that we have.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any comments on the email?
No, you went so fast I don't even remember the email.
It was like a Matt Jackson, Ray Phoenix match.
Chris hates Randy. He hates Charlotte. I get that.
Hey, hold on. Would you ever be opposed of a CGI cinematic match with Randy Orton versus Randy Orton?
No, because
old Randy Orton right now versus young Randy Orton, and they de-age him, and then you have that match at WrestleMania.
Allegedly, and we don't have the thing for like on our show, the allegedly bar, but
allegedly it's up there. We're thinking it.
Yeah, allegedly, in trademark news, they have trademarked the word symbiote, so I think they're gonna do it.
The interesting thing about it, though, is that yesterday I was having a conversation with Shantae, and she was talking about her favorite match in wrestling of all time. and it was a cinematic match. She loves the Boneyard match. She says that was my favorite match, and I'm confident that WWE can pull off a very good match because, yeah, their movies might be...
You showed the Sting.
Huh?
Did you watch the Sting, man?
No, I did not.
Oh, you need to go back and watch that.
I might do that because after I get finished with my appointment, I think I might just be in the bed for the rest of the day because I'm hurting like I don't know what. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this vaccinated...
Pepe. He didn't get vaccinated, just Pepe got to him.
Manny, don't put my personal business out there, man. Don't put my personal business out there. Because don't make my battery exhaust again. Because it will. It will.
Oh, God. I need water.
You know what?
I need water.
Fine.
I'm so tired.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric.
Tired.
Oh, I'm Lord Manny Hayes, the foreign object.
And I am Marcus the Grand Finale, the man that uses the foreign object.
I'm so glad my camera was not on at that point because the disgust on my face went to sky high. But with that being said, until next week, stay sharp. We out. Peace.